Everything that they ever tell us is bullshit. And one of them is that food pyramid, that dairy is good for the bones and calcium. Literally, milk actually strips the bone of calcium. Yeah. You know, they tell us don't look at the sun because it will make us go blind. Sun gazing actually stimulates your pineal gland to open up your third eye so you can move on different dimensions of densities. Everything they ever have told us is a lie. They tell us that our heart is a pump. Your heart is not a pump. Your heart is a valve. Your lungs is a pump that pumps the blood to the heart. The heart is a valve mechanism that controls the cardio output of blood. Everything they tell us about everything is a lie. They tell you your hair is just hair. No, our hair is non-ether hair. It is actually an extension of your nervous system. It is used to scan the environment, and it brings all of these different melanin neurotransmitters back to your skin to tell you whether to actually engage in the environment or take fight or flight and run away. That's why you get gut feelings. That's why when you see paranormal activities, the hair on your skin stand up. So everything that they ever told us about ourselves is a lie. But it's cool because they don't know who we are. So if we study ourselves and we unlock our junk DNA by eating the right foods we're supposed to be eating, we can awaken something called the Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records is this infinite, endless library inside of your DNA. Your DNA is literally like a hard drive. It holds trillions and trillions and trillions of information. And you have literally a DNA fragment in each of your cells. Remember, you have 150 trillion cells in your body. Every cell have its own coil of histines and DNA. Each of these DNAs, if you were able to lay it out, it will fill 600 million page books. That's how much information in you. And we're not even tapping into 1% of it because of the environment and what we're eating. So if we just start with the food and change our diets into livids, it would allow us to express who we truly are. And once you find out who you are, can't nobody tell you nothing different about you.
Wolves in sheep's clothing have pulled the wool over our eyes. For almost 500 years, the masses have been thoroughly deceived by a cosmic fairy tale of astronomical proportions. We have been taught a falsehood so gigantic and diabolical that it has blinded us from our own experience and common sense, from seeing the world and the universe as they truly are. Through pseudoscience books and programs, mass media and public education, universities and government propaganda, the world has been systematically brainwashed, slowly indoctrinated over centuries into the unquestioning belief of the greatest lie of all time. We're living in that lie. For 500 years, an elite cabal of sun worshippers has propagated this nihilistic, atheistic cosmology, cosmogony, unquestioningly believed by the vast majority of the world. We have been taught, contrary to all common sense and experience, that the seemingly motionless, flat earth beneath our feet is actually a massive moving ball spinning through space at over 1,000 miles per hour, wobbling and tilting 23.5 degrees on its vertical axis while orbiting the sun at a blinding 67,000 miles per hour in concert with the entire solar system, spiraling 500,000 miles per hour around the Milky Way and careening across the expanding universe away from the Big Bang at an incredible 670 million miles per hour, but that you feel and experience none of it. None of it. We have been taught that a mysterious force called gravity, a magical magnetism responsible for keeping everything from falling or flying off the spinning ball Earth, is just strong enough to hold people, oceans, and the atmosphere tightly to the surface, but just weak enough to allow bugs and birds and planes to take off with ease. Even just those few paragraphs give us so much to think about and so much to consider. So I'll stop there. Bye.
If something happens one time, anomaly. Happens 2 times, it's like, oh, okay, maybe. But whenever there's a trend of 18 plus, 20 plus things being predicted, you got to go like, hey, Groening, the gig's up. We know. You're a time traveler.
Just tell us.
Bro, I just want to talk to you. I got so many questions. Siegfried and Roy tiger attack. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Do you remember back in the day how tight Siegfried and Roy were with their tigers? It was like every main story was like, oh, these tigers are the best behaved animals on earth, blah, blah, blah. Simpsons in 1993 said the tiger is going to turn. This little friendly tiger is going to become an enemy of Siegfried and Roy quickly, and it's going to happen. 2003, it actually happened. Autocorrect errors, 1994. Before you could even play Snake on the gray little box phone, they predicted that autocorrect will happen on your phone. Are you kidding me? Didn't happen until 2007. FaceTime, 1995. Not even a thought. I don't even know if anybody knew what the fuck the internet was.
Oh, that's that little mark with the A and then the ring around it.
At.
See, that's what I said.
Mm-hmm. No.
What is internet anyway?
In 1995, they said, don't worry, you'll be carrying around a device where you will be face to face with somebody on the opposite side of Earth. 1995, they said that. 2010, it happened. Faulty voter machines. 2008, they predicted it. 2012, it became the forefront of conversation in a big, big wave. I assume these voter machines have been up in question for a long, long time, but they just knew that it was going to come to fruition in 2012.
No, I want to vote for Obama.
2 votes for McCain.
Come on, it's time for a change.
3 votes for McCain.
The God particle. Now, this is the big one. Ty Schmidt did research. He said the God particle is the absolute reason why he is 1,000% a time traveler. Homer Simpson got up there like fucking Matt Damon in that movie where they have that
Good Will Hunting
and draws up this equation for what the God particle is, which what is the God particle?
Yeah, it's basically this equation that essentially like explains how the universe was created.
And they did that in 1998, and the exact equation happens in 2012.
That's unheard of.
14 years ahead of time. They got Homer Simpson up there looking like that goddamn janitor from Harvard, solving equations up on a chalkboard. And 14 years later, it's like, yeah, that's actually how the universe was founded. It's like, wait a fucking minute, little comedy writer with the goddamn yellow cartoon, bro. That's insane. The NSA spying scandal. Everybody knew that the Patriot Act was like in existence, but nobody had a clue that NSA literally knows everything about you. Every dick you've sent has been seen by some government agency, but it wasn't always like that. We didn't know that everything was getting spied on, Sean. Nobody knew that.
I didn't know.
They predicted that in 2007, 2013 it happened.
No, Lisa, it's not like the government is listening to everybody's conversation.
Smartwatches. 1995, they said it would happen. 2014, they came to fruition. America's Ebola outbreak. 1997, they said it. 2014. Do you remember when Ebola hit? It was like, it was literally
hospitals like shutting down.
Oh, they had people wearing like hazmat suits, carrying people around because they were scared Ebola was possible. In the modern world, this was happening. Years and years and years and years ago, Matt Groening said this is going to happen. The FIFA corruption scandal, 2014, they called it. 2015, it came all crashing down. Everybody knew they were getting their pockets greased, making decisions, sending a World Cup to a goddamn desert. Matt Groening said it's going to happen. It happened. Greece's debt default, 2012, they called it. 2015, it happened. So many countries out there, by the way.
They picked Greece.
The exact country to happen. Trump's presidency, 2000, they called it. 2016, it came to fruition. The Simpsons called this President Trump out there, and everybody probably looked at, oh, those Simpsons guys are so funny. Bang, 16 years later, it is about to happen. It goes down. Lady Gaga Super Bowl halftime show, 2012, they called it. 2017. I mean, I think we all knew that she was born this way. She would probably get the halftime show at some point, but to the details that they had. These are not coincidences. Coincidenci. I don't know how you pronounce it.
How the fuck do they know this stuff?
He's
it's gotta be time travel.
Matt Groening is a time travel. I have so many fucking questions. Disney's takeover of Fox, 1998. They said it. 2017, it happens. The Shard in London, which is a building behind Big Ben, I guess. Is that right?
Apparently, that's what Google search said.
1995, 2009, it comes to fruition. Robot librarians, 95, they called it. 2016, it happens. The censorship of Michelangelo's David, 1990, 2016, it happened. Three-eyed fish from the fucking nuclear waste place.
In Japan.
Three-eyed fish comes to fruition in 2001. Matt Groening did it in 1990. 9/11. They called that happening. If you do recall planes going into buildings, they said it in 1997, 2001 it happens. The Syrian uprising, everything that's going on in the Middle East has all been talked about on The Simpsons. And then he created another show called Futurama. And that is huge. He created another show like, yeah, listen, here's me rubbing it in the face. That's where I could go if I have to. I have so many questions for Matt Groening. And guess what, Matt Groening? The gig's up. We know. I'm all in on you, Matt. And I'm a fan, by the way, aren't we? We're big fans.
I'm a huge fan.
If you want to travel to future me or current me or past me and say what's up, I think we would all be appreciative.
Why does the shape of the Earth even matter? What difference does it make to my life? Firstly, the thing of crucial importance is not the shape, it's the lie. The lie of heliocentrism is one of the most insidious lies imaginable that replaces our common sense and lived experience with unproven theories and explanations from supposed experts. When children are indoctrinated to abandon the evidence of their senses in favor of this nonsensical globe model, a schism occurs in their psyche where they are no longer able to trust their own senses and experience, and instead must trust information completely contrary to it, presented by perceived authority figures. To teach such a false cosmology is incredibly deceitful and disempowering to the individual. And the result is that humanity has become just like the slaves in Plato's allegory of the cave. A child who learns not to trust the evidence of their senses becomes forever imprisoned within Plato's cave. A world of distorted shadows cast by Plato's puppet masters that blinds them to the reality beyond. So, why does the shape of the Earth matter? Again, it's not about the shape. It's about the lie. To fool nearly the entirety of humanity for multiple generations, stripping people of their common sense and replacing it with carefully crafted lies, is obviously a matter of serious importance. It is one of the most psychologically devastating things that could be perpetrated upon an individual, and seeing through it should be one of the most revealing revelations of a lifetime. So, when someone asks the foolish question of what difference does it make, that is already evidence of extreme psychological distortion. If knowing the truth doesn't matter to your life, what does that say about your life? The level Earth is an epic epiphany that changes many people to their core, affirming their common sense, developing their critical thinking skills, and reigniting a spirit of discovery and adventure. In this way, the level Earth revelation is holistically helpful and truly transformational for many on an individual level. Even more importantly, however, is if humanity succeeds in fully exposing this egregious lie and finally rooting out the liars, the beneficial ripple effect it will have throughout society is massive. Once these foundational facts are realized, these governments, universities, media outlets, and other entangled organizations suddenly and completely lose all credibility. The resulting mass mental exodus away from the control system is exactly what is needed. Essentially, once the level Earth conspiracy is exposed, so is every other important conspiracy by proxy, because this so-called mother of all conspiracies holds under its umbrella so many fundamental and foundational facts, and fully reveals them.